Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? It is May 11, 2026 at 3:53, I think, p.m. My other phone in the room dead, and yeah, when I looked at the clock, that's what time it was. Um, so, um, yes, it's a new day. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mamas. I sent some of my babies text messages and all that little stuff like that. So all the love to the mamas out here in the world, living, being great individuals, all that wonderful stuff. Um, so yesterday was kind of like a rough day in the beginning, as far as in like emotions and everything. Saturday night was a good night. Good night. Like I say, took my bath, got in my bath. Big Daddy came home later that night. We had a good night, talked, laugh, all the good little stuff like that. And then I woke up and it's just a lot of emotions hit a bitch like a railroad. Do you motherfucking hear me? And I really I had to process them. Process them. Got them together. We back in tune. But after that moment, and then me and Big Daddy sit down and talk. And one thing that I finally like just spoke it out, and I had been keeping it in my mouth in my mind for a long time, but I know what's going on. Is like I stated in my last video, I have surrendered. I have surrendered some of the things that I tried to control that I knew I couldn't control. I would say like since last year when I moved back home, as far as in like working, but trying to be, in Empress mode and all that little stuff like that. And it was some lessons that I had to shed and get rid of. And I finally mastered them. And this video is understanding the surrender and the transition. Because when you're going through it, you might not always be able to put the pieces together. But once you sit down, you reflect, you express the emotions, you digress, and you had that isolation mode, and you had that isolation moment with yourself and God. And you can sit down and just talk and hear and listen. But yeah, I know, I get it now. I understand. I got like 2 other series going on while I am doing this one. This is like the overview of both, I guess you could say. But yes, the woman I'm becoming is the woman I manifested just last year. As far as in being a wife, being a mother, being a businesswoman, as in knowing how to balance the two. And in this process, I had to learn boundaries. I had to learn my self-worth. I had to learn how to juggle being a wife and knowing about home and family and everything else like that, and being able to juggle it all. And people can sit up here and say, oh, you want this, you want that. But God is going to put you through certain tests and trials to make sure that you are ready for what you ask for. And if it's something that you manifested, you're going to have to go through the work to do it. You're going to have to go through the work to earn it and obtain it and build it on a solid foundation. And so that's what I could say what this season was about, was me shedding me as being a single woman, an individual, just straight business. I didn't have a partner to worry about and deal with and make sure the home was together and everything else like that. And so it was a blessing to be able to go through the different lessons and trials that Most High put upon the both of us. And we passed. I passed. I understand. And so this season, this phase of my transition was, like I say, stepping out of being a hyper independent, living within my truth, knowing that I have a teammate, knowing that yes, it's highs and lows to this shit, but you can't give up. You got to keep going. You got to hold on. Even with my business, it's taught me the highs and lows of my business, but also building it on a solid structure foundation to where this motherfucker can't be shaked or breaked. Nothing. All while doing that, I am also embracing my femininity. I am now forming more ways of income from embracing my femininity and things that I had to learn spiritually and obtain. Okay, like, hey, I do like this. This is something that I like. This is something that brings me joy. Let me add it into, my collection to a certain extent. Instead of going back into the matrix and working on a different type of level when I can be that source of income myself. And so it takes different obstacles and lessons and everything to learn these lessons and to master them. You might hit one or two a couple times because you're hard-headed and you're stubborn, or you just feel like you can do certain things that you want to do when you can't do it that way, especially when now you have surrendered your life to Most High. You are now living. You are now on a spiritual assignment. You are now on a spiritual mission. You got a task to do. So this ain't just about what you want and how you want to do it. It's about the way that God wanted it to be done. It's the way that God say that you go learn and obtain. Your spirits and your ancestors, they want you to go through certain lessons and certain missions so they know that you are solid, that you go be a solid result. You go be a solid winner. You go be one of them ones that once you come out the lesson, that they could put you in the field and know that you can obtain all your blessings and not have no worries. They know that they could give you your fruits of your labor and your harvest, and you won't fumble and crumble. So everybody don't have the same path. Everybody don't have the same mission, because everybody's mission and path and journey is not the same. So just because yours might take a little bit longer don't mean that it ain't worthy, because baby, it just might be a little bit bigger. Not only is it a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more sturdier. It's a little bit more solid. The things that you see going around now, you just sit up here and blew past all that shit because you stayed in class. You learned. You did the extracurricular activities that Most High told you to do. You didn't take no shortcuts. Your tutor was God. Wasn't nobody else your tutor. Couldn't nobody else do the work for you. God made you do the work on your own. And so when you go through those type of initiations and those type of life upgrades, they different. The harvest is different. The path is different. It's not a quick way. Because God, your ancestors, and your spirits want to know that you are worthy of everything that you have asked for. Because if you're not worthy, they go put you through another lesson to make sure you get it. And until you get it, you won't move. So, I want to say, shout out to all my honor roll students. The ones that have now made it to graduation. To my lovelies that have gotten a cap and gown on the spiritual tip. Because now you can grow and elevate to your next phase. It wasn't quick like popcorn. You had to work for it. You had to grind for it. You had to real deal get in the trenches. And when I say the trenches, I mean the streets. As in far as in the world, the matrix, the hood, the work environment, whatever it is, to obtain these badges of honor that God gave you so you could take them on to your next level, to your next blessing. So when you surrender to the transition, you will then get an understanding of the transition. Let's just say last year, when I first moved back home, was study season. Empress World was test season. This season was field work and obtaining. My next season is graduation and harvest. Y'all go see it all play out. You will see it all play out because that is the route that God had for you. So hold it down. Be silent. Surrender. God got you. God ain't gonna lead you astray. Your ancestors ain't gonna lead you astray. Your spirits ain't gonna lead you astray. Especially if you taking care of them so they could take care of you. If you do your part, they gonna do theirs. So, I'll see y'all at graduation.